to open the Pakistan Minerals Investment Forum this morning and in this convention hall. Today, we gather to deliberate on a critical subject that shapes economies, fuels technological progress, and holds the potential for sustainable development across the globe, investment in the mineral sector. Ladies and gentlemen, as an advocate of economic diplomacy, I consider it a crucial tool in our shared mission to transform Pakistan's trade and investment landscape, not only broadly, but also specifically within the minerals sector. Ladies and gentlemen, we meet at a time when Pakistan is entering a new phase of economic progress. The government of Pakistan has taken tough but very essential decisions to stabilize the economy. The results of these efforts are becoming increasingly visible across key macroeconomic indicators. Strong remittance inflows and increasing foreign direct investment are providing much-needed foreign exchange, boosting domestic consumption, investments, and overall economic growth. These achievements, coupled with improved credit rating from Fitch and Moody's, underscore our commitment to economic stability and fiscal discipline in the leadership of Prime Minister Mohammad Shahbaz Sharif. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan is strategically positioned to emerge as a global mining powerhouse, underpinned by its unparalleled geological wealth, anchored in the Tethyan metallurgical belt, one of the world's largest copper-gold zones. Pakistan is home to monumental reserves like the Reko Diq. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan also hosts vast resources of rare earth elements, industrial minerals, non-metallics, and gemstones, including globally sought-after peridot and emerald. With this vast, untapped mineral potential, Pakistan's resource corridor is primed to reshape global supply chains and attract foreign direct investment. Ladies and gentlemen, historically, our geological potential has remained underutilized. The mineral sector has yet to translate into economic gains proportionate to its potential. The government of Pakistan has therefore prioritized the strategic development of this sector through progressive policy reforms and investor-centric initiatives, laying the foundation for a robust ecosystem that delivers value for all stakeholders. Ladies and gentlemen, by aligning our regulatory frameworks with competitive fiscal terms, Pakistan is positioning itself as a dynamic hub for sustainable, high-yield ventures in resource exploitation, extraction, refining, logistics, and infrastructure. Our demographic dividend stands as a strategic advantage, mirroring our geological wealth with over 60% of the population under the age of 30 and a median age of 22.8 years. Our youth, if empowered through targeted and capacity-building initiatives, can become a catalyst for innovation and excellence across the mining value chain. The convergence of resources, policy, and human capital creates an unparalleled opportunity for sustainable growth and development of Pakistan's minerals sector. Ladies and gentlemen, to truly unlock the potential of this sector, we need more than just capital. We need a shared commitment to collaborate, cooperation among governments, industry leaders, investors, and local communities is very essential. Investment in the mineral sector represents not only financial opportunity, but a vital step towards securing a sustainable and technologically advanced future for generations to come. Ladies and gentlemen, the Pakistan Mineral Investment Forum 2025 provides a unique platform for stakeholders, friendly countries, and partners to converge, explore new prospects, and build mutually beneficial partnerships. That's why we are here all today, this morning. This forum is anchored in the three pillars of potential, people, and policy, a vision the government of Pakistan is implementing to drive shared prosperity and sustainable growth. As we move forward, let us fully appreciate the tremendous value of this sector and the responsibility that comes with it. Let us invest with purpose, with foresight, and with the collective well-being of the people of Pakistan in mind, and the partners and the investors. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. Again, Your Excellency, thank you so much. Thank you for that great opening, and if you can join us here. Let me quickly get our panel up here to join the Deputy Prime Minister. We're going to be talking about driving responsible growth in mining, governance, cooperation and building resilient supply chains. And again, we will carry on, I think, from what we have just heard in that very pragmatic but very optimistic and indeed with a great long-term vision. So, Your Excellency, thank you so much for setting the scene for us. If I might please now ask the Minister of Commerce from the Government of Pakistan to join us, Mr. Jam Kamal, if he can please join us here right beside the Deputy Prime Minister. Thank you so much. And come on, it's morning here in Pakistan. Give him a very, very warm welcome here. We're delighted to see you, sir. Please sit beside the Minister, the Deputy Minister, if you would. Thank you so much. The Minister of Energy, the Petroleum Division from the Government of Pakistan, I'm delighted to welcome Mr. Ali Pervez Malik. If he can join us, please. From Turkey, the Minister of Energy joins us. Mr. Alparslan Bayraktar is joining us as well, and we're absolutely delighted to have him with us as well. And from Saudi Arabia, we're delighted to have with us the Deputy Minister of Mining Resource Management from the Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resource in Saudi Arabia, Abdul Rahman Belushi. That is our great panel, and we're now going to start our conversation. Lovely to see you all, gentlemen, and thank you so much. Your Excellency, I'm going to give you a little breather now, and I'm going to have everybody else see what they're doing, and then you can come back and see if they're on the right track. But once again, thank you, and I think everybody applauds the work that's been happening in Pakistan and the long-term vision that is in place. And as you said, that has to be in place to make sure, because we have to look at this for the long term. If I might, Mr. Jam Kamal, lovely to see you here. When we think about foreign investment, and you know, His Excellency laid out the economic plan here and some of what's happening here, but you know, it's a competitive world, and industry will move to basically where they get the best deal. You know, talk to us about, you know, having recognized the importance of minerals in the country now, but, you know, talk about getting the investment to the country and some of the challenges and the opportunities that there will be, if you would, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much for giving me the time of opening up the remarks for today, and especially when it comes to the minerals right in Pakistan, and especially the zones that we have in Pakistan. First of all, I'm really glad to see renowned world operators who are working already in Pakistan, and that's a very big sign for us to really have the presence of key investors already working. In Balochistan, we have Barrick over here, and its presence is definitely showing the importance that this country has and the potential that we have, which can be enhanced to a very exponential level. Balochistan, and especially when it comes to the northern parts of Pakistan, More than 90 minerals are such which are present with a very basic information and knowledge that we have. Geological Survey of Pakistan, which have been working in Pakistan for more than 1 century, definitely has been working here for not only exploring these potential minerals and critical minerals and basic metal minerals, but at the same time, I do see the opportunity which still lies within Pakistan is too immense. Globally, we have seen how the mineral sector really operates, how exploration works, how you define how the potential zones are, and how much investment has gone in these areas. But unfortunately, in Pakistan, we have seen very less amount of resource and investment has been put in really identifying, quantifying, and seeing the true potential of the resources that we have within the country. And that's a very key sign, because while what we have explored to a very small number is already showing very global investment project levels of investment that are taking place in Pakistan. And at the same time, we are seeing those other opportunities which are lying and still not untapped. And for that purpose, I think so, the main course reason of bringing the global investment companies over here is just to show them what Pakistan has, how people are operating over here, whoever they are. We have a few mining companies who are doing international mining globally, have already shown a lot of interest of expanding. We're seeing interest in the critical mineral sites, which I think so is a global phenomenon now, how countries are identifying the future resources. And for that purpose, I think so, where you have a country which is still 95% not explored the way it should have been, is something which is worth investing in Pakistan, and especially keeping the need metals, which is very much there when it comes to copper, when it comes to critical minerals of rare earth minerals, for basic lithium ion potential that we have, iron ore.